From a young age, children across the world grow up playing baseball. To some, it's their way to escape reality, to step on the mound, or to get into the batter's box and have nothing on your mind other than baseball. Doing this every day, and it doesn't get old at all. The same feeling, wanting more and wanting to get better as the years go by, and it's still not enough. Until you get injured. This is the story of starting pitcher Liam Hendriks. Liam was born in Australia in 1989, and from a young age had a desire for the sport of baseball, as many of us do, except Liam was special. It was a spark unlike anything you've ever really seen. He played t-ball and later got into the sport of baseball. Then as time went on, baseball wasn't the only sport Liam was great at. He was also an incredible football player. And when it came time for his 18th birthday, Hendriks had a choice. He could either go into the Australian Football League, or he could take his chances and sign with an MLB team. Baseball's the biggest risk that you can make. Attempting to get through the minors and then actually getting into the majors is the toughest thing you could do. Of course, outside of actually staying in the major leagues, that is. Well, he was willing to take on that challenge and signed with the Twins on his 18th birthday. How did this turn out? It turned out as the best decision that Liam ever made. He had his major league debut with the Twins 4 years later, and the first 4 years of his career were a sad story, a letdown. Many didn't even know who Hendriks was, until that is 2015. He made his debut in 2011, and he wasn't even known until 2015. While many would call that a bad thing, I call it unique. He was now on the Toronto Blue Jays, and he had a chance. He was a piece of their bullpen and did not let down at all. He had a .292 ERA in 64 innings. He was a surprise for not only Blue Jays fans, but as well as the front office. Even after his performance of 2015, right after that season was over, he was traded into Oakland. This is where he continued to dominate for many seasons and even became their closer after a while, rather than just a bullpen piece. In 2021, he finally left Oakland and went to the Chicago White Sox. This is where things began to rise for him, just for the tower to fall. He had 38 saves in 2021 and 37 in 2022. The guy was dominant. Even in his 30s at this point, he was excited for 2023. So were his fans and his family. Then one of the worst things that can happen to a man, and not just a man, a person, he found out that he had cancer. He found out in December 2022 and announced it publicly in January 2023. This man isn't just one of the best closers in the MLB. This man has a life and is also married. It was a type of blood cancer, and he believed that he was only in stage 1 and at most stage 2. He later got the results from the doctors, and they confirmed it was worse than what he actually thought. He had stage 4 cancer, and he needed chemotherapy. He was not shy to fight it either, but more than anything, all he wanted to do was get back on the mound. That was the biggest thing in his mind. Getting back on the mound, forgetting about reality, and closing out games for the Chicago White Sox. A few months later, in April of 2023, Liam announced he beat cancer. One of the hardest things that you can accomplish in life, one of the toughest challenges, he did it. The next step was getting back into the 9th inning, getting back into that closer role. Well, he managed to get back at the end of May and beginning of June. But very quickly it all went downhill. After pitching June 9th, he suffered elbow inflammation. He expected to be able to get back and off of the injured list pretty quick, but unfortunately, it just never happened. Time was passing by, and everyone started to realize it was going to be a while before he got back. Likely was not even going to be back by the end of 2023. Well, as of August 2nd, it was announced yesterday that Liam's biggest fear, everyone's biggest fear for Liam, Tommy John. It was announced Liam Hendriks underwent Tommy John surgery and will be out until 2025. What does this mean for the 34-year-old closer? It may mean the end of his career. A once little boy passionate about the sport of baseball, growing into a major leaguer, to now facing cancer, rebounding from it, just to face the worst injury of his career. He's set to return by the time he's 36 years old, and unfortunately for Hendricks and fans across the league, this is likely the end of his career. Everyone who's watching this, make sure to send a prayer for Liam and his family. Baseball is poetry, whether it's the good type or whether it's the bad type. Baseball is a mystery. This is the story of the most unfortunate story in all of baseball.